If the world was all of a sudden on some Fahrenheit 451 shit, what books you saving? Oh my God. I just looked at Giovanni's room, that gotta come. Just looked at Between the World and Me, that gotta come. Probably this bitch ass book of essays by Faulkner, just cuz, right?
Read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch. Step up your vocab.
Hey everybody, Cree here, aka Black Emily Dickinson. I low-key didn't really want to do this video because I'm not real big on talking about myself in front of a camera, but then low-key I am. Perhaps I really just do like it, that's the bottom line, and I have to perform like I don't like it to indicate that I am humble. We'll go with that. When I reached 6,000 followers on Instagram, I said that I was going to create a get to know me once and for all because I kept reintroducing myself. Anyway, but I asked you all to ask me some questions and you did. And this will be the get to know me video. So anyone else who decides to start following Cree can just go to my Instagram TV and click on this and they can learn everything they need to know. Let's go! How did I get my son into reading? I had Ethan young. I was 20, but for some reason I always knew that him being a very strong reader, starting at a very early age, was extremely important to his success as a human. And he's a black male, so I knew what they would be trying to put on him if I didn't make sure he went in there guns a-blazing. So that's what I did. And he is always reading at the top of his class. He reads all the time. It's really easy because reading is such a large part of my life. I spend a lot of time creating content for this page. So he sees how important it is, and he constantly sees me reading. He constantly sees Brian reading. My parents are strong readers. He has a really close relationship with them. So that's it. It's just part of our family culture. There are books everywhere. People are always reading. We're talking about what we're reading. We're talking about books we're excited to read. We're talking about authors. So that's why. My favorite musical artist of all time? I don't like these type of questions. I don't like extremes or ultimatums. Probably Michael Jackson, right? When did I find him? I found Michael Jackson for myself when he did that reunion tour with his brothers, remember, on VH1? I was in 6th grade. And, I mean, Motown played in my house all the time, but that was me in my basement watching for myself, hearing Dancing Machine for the first time myself. Then I did a deep dive. I know all the choreo to Smooth Criminal, all of it. And I know the breakdown to Beat It. So it's probably Michael Jackson musically, and even deep cuts. It's just another part of me. Is a jam. Also a really large Prince fan. My mother is a super Prince fan. First concert I ever went to in 4th grade was to a Prince concert. Love singing the song Cream at 9 years old at the top of my lungs. She knew I didn't know what I was talking about, so I was just cream, shabba, pop. I don't have as good a grasp of Prince's discography, but the way that he carried himself as a human is extremely inspirational. So I do sometimes be like, what would Prince do in this situation? Because he was so unbothered, Those are goals. If the world was all of a sudden on some Fahrenheit 451 shit, what books you saving? Oh my God. I just looked at Giovanni's room, that gotta come. Just looked at Between the World and Me, that gotta come. Probably this bitch ass book of essays by Faulkner, just cuz, right? This Andrew Jackson joint can stay. Emergent Strategies. Girl with the Louding Voice is for sure coming. That one with the tabs, that's Asada's bio. That's gotta come. Joni Mitchell, what if all her music die? We need the book to tell us about the music, right? My husband loved Joni Mitchell. Bad Feminist. Beloved. Why Teach? That was trash. Oh, The Miseducation of the Negro. Oh my gosh, this Organized Now book, which is just like a self-help, but I am extremely disorganized, so I would need it, because even though I don't have a lot of shit when the world is on some 451 shit, I still would need to know how to organize the little shit that I do have. I don't know. Don't ask me that. All the books coming. I'm bringing as many books as I can. I'm going to go to Joanne Fabrics, get them crates, fill them up. Let's go. If you could have a cup of coffee and chat with any writer, who would it be? Anyone who has brought me to tears. That's everybody. I would need to sit down with Alice Walker. I need to sit down with Toni Morrison. I need to sit down with Zora Neale Hurston. I would need to sit down with Maya Angelou. I would need to sit down with Baldwin. I would need to sit down with Coates. I would need to sit down with Jesmyn Ward. She made me cry. But those type of people, I don't really want to talk to. I just want to listen to them talk. Which I guess is great that they write books, because it's just a one-way conversation. What else do you love besides books? Oh. I be loving, y'all. I'm a very passionate person. I love children. I love my family so hard. I love trap music. I love Tori Kelly. I love fried food. I love champagne. I love a good front lace wig. Love some good eyelash extensions. Love a clean American manicure. Love when a foundation match. Love a good feed on Instagram. That's why I love Instagram so much, because of how aesthetically driven it is. I'm a Libra. They say we're very aesthetically driven. You will never see a poorly dressed Libra. Okay, we come suited and booted. Yeah, I love plants. Love animals, right? Y'all knew that. I really, once I make my fortune, I'm going to buy a horse, and I'm going to name it Ribbon. I'm going to put a ribbon on, I guess maybe its tail. I don't know where it would be comfortable for the horse to have a ribbon. And then I'm going to have to get another horse so that they are not lonely. Ribbon is not lonely. Are you the one singing in the title sequence? Read a book, read a book, read a book. Yeah, what you thought? Yes. I mean, I asked you guys to ask me questions before I started Word of the Week. But yeah, I sing on all that stuff. It's fun. Like, I'm low-key a producer at this point. Call me Pharrell or Timbo. Did I have any fears about becoming a bookstagrammer? Yeah, in terms of keeping my product wholesome. I know that in my truest form, I do swear and I do say naked. And I have interrogated all of the reasons why I choose to engage language the way that I do, and I've come to the conclusion that this is my truth. And so I do. But I was afraid to do that for a while because I didn't want to isolate anyone who would come otherwise. But then I realized if I can't fully show up, then I shouldn't show up at all. So this is the page you got. This is really me being myself. And it took a minute, and I think there were some like extreme pendulum swings, and even sometimes still, usually on YouTube, usually a man is telling me that I'm being disrespectful or etc. But yeah, that's what they're kind of known for, taking up entirely too much space. So this is where we're at. I don't answer to anybody except black women at this point. If a black woman hit my DM and tell me that I'm doing too much, then I might consider it. Do you remember the book that made you fall in love with reading? My mother is an educator. When I was a child, like a small child, she was a 3rd grade teacher. And so on the summers, I always had to do the super reader program at the library. So I don't remember not reading. I remember that I was kind of behind in kindergarten, or I wasn't behind, but I knew that there were people in the class who could read and I couldn't read, and I don't like that. So I worked my butt off and started reading at a crazy level, So then I would read a lot of Babysitter Club's books to stunt on them hoes in class on the carpet. But in 8th grade, I get bullied a lot for the way that I spoke because I talk white. We know that trope. We don't need to do that. And I found the book What Happened to Lonnie Garver, and way ahead of its time, because I'm pretty sure Lonnie was non-binary and they refused to be defined by other people's definitions. And that really liberated me as far as showing up in the world as a Black girl. I realized that no matter how I dressed or what I said or how I spoke, I was still Black. That didn't need to keep being up for debate. And me liberating myself from that really slowly shut everybody up. It was cool. So shout out to What Happened to Lonnie Garver. I think that book changed my life. How do I arrange my bookshelf? I don't. I would love to arrange it by color. Brian thinks that's stupid. He's a hater. Next question. How do you meet your hubby? Brian. I auditioned for his band. Brian is a musician by trade. He has a degree in piano. He has a couple degrees, but one of them is in piano. And I was auditioning for his band. His bandmate told him to audition me, and I did not have a good audition. All the songs were in Portuguese, but they still let me be on there anyway and bang the tambourine because I'm cute. Any tips and advice for someone who wants to start their own bookstagram? Yes. You have to post regularly for a while to gain traction. So you can't be on this read a book post, especially if you're not a very fast reader. I'm not a very fast reader. You have to do some books that you haven't read in a while, and then just create a whole bunch of videos and drop them on a schedule. It would also be cool if you came up with additional segments. I have the Dear segment on Tuesdays when people come live and read, and I'm taking that over to YouTube. I realize I'm just going to do that one the hour after I do the Instagram one. And my Fun Friday, like this, I'm still talking lit, but it's fun and light. It's not a book review. And all the you can go on BookTube and get billions of ideas. And honestly, it's all about concepts. You can take any concept from any content creator, like even a beauty vlogger, and just translate that to books. James Charles did this one where he made a song out of all makeup products, and I'm working on it, you feel me? Does my partner read as much as I do? Yeah. I mean, as important as reading is to me, I don't know, I would feel extremely lonely if I was in a house with someone who didn't value literature. Brian will be listening to NPR and they will say in passing, this is straight up, a man who was in an insane asylum in Poland in the 30s and wrote all his pieces on tissue paper, and then somebody found them and typed them and translated him, and he went and found the book at the library and been reading the man's shorts. That's what I'm married to. Brian also is trilingual. He speaks Portuguese and Spanish, and so I feel like that just gives him more access to literature because he can reach literature that's in other languages. He does love reading, and I love that he loves reading. It's a really integral part of our relationship. Books and writers, we talk about them a lot. Okay, we did that. That's not half as long as I thought it was going to be. Thank you guys. I will see you on Sunday for Word of the Week. Jess recorded the song. It's fun. I like it. But I hope that you enjoyed this. Hope it was fun for you. and I love you, and goodbye.